We're driving a 2020 Hyundai Venue. Coming up, I'm going to share a Venue feature that solves a modern problem that's probably driving you crazy. But first, information explosion. Why the boom, sweetie?
Somebody requested that.
Very good then. Interior? As you may have noticed in the information explosion, the Hyundai Venue is very inexpensive. In fact, it is the cheapest SUV, and I'll explain why they are quotes, you can buy in America. Keeping that in mind, what do you think of the interior?
Obviously, this is not an expensive car, but it is stylish. I like it way more than I thought I would based on the price.
Yeah, there's like style, but not desperate style.
Totally.
It's not over the top. It's not like it's trying to convince you it's not cheap. It just looks good. And then there's like some nice functionality built in. There's a little parcel shelf right there, which is very hard to say. It's like the rural juror of places you can put stuff in your car. It's kind of a well thought out, practical interior, although there are little cues. In addition to the hard plastics, open that glove box.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very rare you find an undamped glove box these days, but it's a very inexpensive car. What's amazing to me is the space. It's a subcompact SUV, but I fit in the back seat pretty well. I can sit behind myself and my knees do not touch the seat back, and headroom is great, even in the middle position. It's crazy.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
The only thing I dislike about the way this is laid out is I hate a long row of buttons that I have to remember where the thing I want is without looking at it.
You know, it's a very Mercedes-like feature. It's just giving you a hint of the premium stuff. That's true, that is a very Mercedes approach to it, and it does have that long thing going there.
It looks nice, but
most everything you do is going to occur through that screen, so I'm going to give that a pass.
Okay.
But I'm still so angry on your behalf.
Thank you.
Another impressive aspect of the Venue is cargo space. 18.7 cubic feet, which is a lot of space for a very small SUV. And then, did you check out the cargo functionality back there?
I did. It seemed easy enough to use. Sometimes those systems are good in theory, but actually getting it to work is very difficult.
Yeah, totally. The adjustable floor, you can move it up and down without much problem. There's a cargo cover, and I like how when it's not in use, let's say you've got something large that's going to come up beyond where that would cap off, you can just slide it forward and it like kind of slots in behind the rear seats. It's almost better than it needs to be. Like, why are you trying so hard, Venue? This is, you don't need to be this good. Rear window test. Yay, all the way down. Armrest test. Ooh, okay, so the inboard armrest does move forward, and you can move it to a reasonable position. So they're positioned well enough I can drive in a comfortable 8 and 4. There is a little bit of padding here, so that's not awful. But that outboard, that is hard plastic, and my left elbow, just for the sake of being dramatic, is the delicate one. Lefty!
Oh,
no! So I'm going to give that sort of a maybe 3/4 up on the inboard, but a low 3/4 down on the outboard.
A sad Eeyore elbow.
A sad Eeyore elbow. That is exactly right.
Yeah, and what I'm calling it is a cat that's a witch.
Ah, and we have a witch cat in the back, in case you were wondering.
I'm very glad to know that this is adjustable because I could not figure out how to do that when I was driving this, and that was a huge ding for me because I hate having my elbow supported. I guess I'm a flaily driver.
I mean, you're kind of generally flaily. Like if somebody's trying to describe you to somebody that doesn't know you, they'd probably be like, got the glasses.
Quiet, generally flaily.
Yeah, generally flaily, yeah. You got our daughter in the back seat. Any thoughts on family friendliness?
Oh, it seems very family friendly. I mean, not a large family, obviously, but for our size family, she climbed in just fine.
Yeah. Sweetie, how do you fit back there? Do you have enough room?
Yeah. See, a cat that's a witch.
Well, true enough. That is exactly what that is.
You can fit children and a cat. That's a witch.
But to me, that is the heart of family friendliness. One more quick note about usability. Because of the vehicle's height, it's very easy to load things in and out. It's not so high that it's hard for our daughter to get in, not so low that we have to drop down into it. Putting cargo in the back, it's kind of already at the right height. It's just a great functional little vehicle. I like it. Hey, have you subscribed to the channel? If you haven't, please do. At 100,000 subs, I'm gonna review a windowless white van. Style. What do you think about the style of the Venue?
So I don't know if you can tell by my outfit, but I like flair.
Oh yeah, my lady likes flair.
I love the exterior. That grill is extremely bold.
It's almost like a little crosshatchy thing or something. It looks nice.
It looks like plaid or something to me. It's very cool.
Here's the thing. Plastic can be any shape. Make it a cool shape.
Totally.
This particular Venue benefits from a few things. So the base model has like 15-inch steel wheels and it doesn't have the LED lighting elements. This one benefits from 17-inch wheels and LED styling. And when you see the face of the Venue coming up behind you and you've got those sort of square LED daytime running lights, I think those add a lot of the flair that you love so much. But I think it's a cute little package. So, welcome to the show, Iguana. Though cheap, I find the Venue charming.
Like me?
Hey, I think we stumbled on our synopsis. If you're curious what I'm driving or flying between YouTube videos, follow me over on Instagram. And if you'd like to see what the family's up to, give Evie a follow, won't ya? In motion. Just driving around, we got a little bit of bump here. Yeah, ride quality is pretty good. Steering wise, I've noticed at higher speeds, like on the freeway, there's a little bit of a wandering tendency that's not uncommon with smaller vehicles. So you have to be a little bit more active. But just driving around town, it doesn't feel cheap. There's like the right amount of heft to the steering. It's great.
That makes me feel better because I got in this car and I'm like, I am loving driving this around.
One other note, it's quieter in here than it needs to be. Oh, and now I'm flooring it. Let's experience the maybe the weak spot, which would be the powertrain. So it's, I think, got some zippiness to it off the line. There's not much horsepower, but there's also not much car. I think it's appropriate for the price point. It is paired with a CVT, so you got a little 121 horsepower 4-cylinder engine and a continuously variable transmission. I'm not a fan of what this sounds like.
It sounds like it's trying very hard.
And it is, but this is where my normal automotive standards are kind of out the window because that's like objectively less pleasurable than a lot of other vehicles I've driven, but it's so much cheaper. And it's like, it is what it is. It's a inexpensive vehicle, and when you're just driving around, it's totally fine. It's fine, it's fine. I think it's time to get you behind the wheel, my lady. Oh boy. So, I would like you to focus on a couple of specific things.
Not killing us.
Yeah, item one, not killing us.
Whoa, what was that?
That's that camera failing.
Dang it.
Of course that camera fails. We'll look at this one. Item one, visibility. Can you see out of the Hyundai Venue?
Visibility is great.
Yeah, what about over your right shoulder? The seat pillar's a little bit thick back there.
Oh, you're right. There is a blind spot there.
Yeah, a little bit of a blind spot, but blind spot warning is optional, so...
Optional?
Yeah, so the car will tell you when you're about to crash. You know, how about we just take it right in here and we'll test the other thing.
Okay.
You're clear?
Whee! I do like turning this car.
Well, that leads to the question, what about parkability? Do you feel like you can maneuver this in tight spaces and park it somewhere? Let's just park in some random person's driveway.
Okay. Like in their driveway?
Sure.
You might really dislike that.
Well, the Hyundai Venue is so charming, I'm sure they'll welcome us.
Look at my cute grill.
Yeah.
I never use a backup camera.
Which is weird because we paid a lot of money to put one in your Honda CR-V.
Does mommy like how this car smells?
I don't smell this car.
Full disclosure, I love my daughter, but she hates new car smell. It's a real problem with us. So do you feel good about the parkability?
I do.
Yeah. Let's go around that corner, take a left, tell me how it steers.
Okay.
Ready? Oh.
Whoa, sensible. Steve.
Very sensible. Does it feel good? Do you feel confident steering it?
I do. I really like that.
Ooh, do a U-turn, do a U-turn.
Okay. I love the feeling of driving a little car around.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's like little, but still very practical. Great turning radius.
I'll take it in denim with a white roof, please.
We've achieved some level of satisfaction. My daughter's making weird spinning noises. Let me get back to the driver's seat. A very nice driving, fun little SUV thing.
I think it's fun, yes.
Who'd have guessed? Emotion factor. The emotion factor of the Hyundai Venue, I think, is better than you would expect based on the price. This competes not necessarily with so many new cars, but with used cars. Like the people who are buying a Venue are probably cross-shopping used cars. So if you are looking at the market and you're like, well, you know, I could maybe instead of getting that used car, I could maybe get that Hyundai Venue. There is a pride in ownership of being the first owner and being able to say you have a new car. And I think that's kind of a wonderful thing. And I think that could be an emotive component. So to me, this feels like an emotional car. What do you think?
I was surprised by how charmed I was by it.
Charming car. Emotion factor strong. If you're feeling emotionally moved by the Hyundai Venue, please check the Kelley Blue Book listing link in the description below. Remarks. This is the perfect time. Remark number 1. I mentioned in the beginning, the thing that is driving me crazy and probably driving you crazy is when you're at a stoplight and the person in front of you is on their cell phone and then the cars start to go away and then they just sort of hang out there because they're not paying attention. The Venue has a feature where if you're stopped and the vehicle ahead starts to move, it gives you that beep and it tells you, hey, the vehicle ahead is moving, you idiot. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
So the odds of being stuck behind a Venue with a person staring at their cell phone at a stoplight, very low. Can I tell you one way in which the Hyundai Venue is kind of like the old Beetle that you used to drive when we first got married?
I'm curious.
The answer is drum brakes. The base car has rear drum brakes.
What does that mean for today's driver?
It honestly doesn't mean that much. It's not like you're doing Nürburgring laps or something like that and you're gonna, burn the things down. But drum brakes have worse thermal issues with braking, and so they're just worse brakes. But what are you doing with your Venue?
Not much.
It's still a little bit odd to find that kind of old braking technology in a modern vehicle. But that's only in the base trim. The 2 higher trims have normal disc brakes, as any other modern normal car would. Continuing that safety theme, the Venue also has automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection and lane departure warning, which I would use now, but I'm not going quite fast enough. Hard cuts to when I'm testing it. I am testing the lane keeping assist. Look at that. Steered right back in, no drama. Awesome. Let's talk about value a little bit. The value proposition, not only by how cheap the Venue is, but also what's included with it, is awesome. So you get this 8-inch screen standard with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You get cruise control, that's standard. You get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, which is, Hyundai's great warranty. I think the value component is strong. You can pay very little money for awful, awful cars, but if you pay a little money and then you get a bunch of cool stuff, to me, that's the core of value. Among the options, I would probably spring for Smart Key. That's something you can add. You can also get heated seats, as we have here. Look, you just got EV'd. One option you cannot get, all-wheel drive.
Really?
Yes, that's
not available.
Not available. That's why in the beginning when I said SUV, the air quotes were for the lack of all-wheel drive. Now, this is not the only vehicle that's in this class that does not offer all-wheel drive, but if you live somewhere... Did you just EV'd me?
No, I un-EV'd me.
Sorry, I was using my amazing peripheral vision and I noticed you were poking. Yeah, so if you want all-wheel drive in a subcompact SUV, you can do like a Kia Seltos or a Chevy Trailblazer. You have options.
If you live somewhere like California, how necessary is all-wheel drive?
Not necessary. Even if you live somewhere with winter, it's actually not that necessary. Put on some snow tires, or if it's really, really icy, you can put chains on the front tires, and you're actually going to be fine.
But who wants to do that?
Yeah, that does sound like a pain. Better to just get a completely different vehicle with all-wheel drive. There are places where all-wheel drive makes sense, but certainly not where we're driving. Among the true competitors for the Hyundai Venue, you'd have things like the Nissan Kicks, the Toyota CHR, maybe the Kia Soul. That's another one. That's kind of quasi-SUV-ish, but really just a front drive car thing. There are a lot of good names in there, but honestly, I'm pretty well dazzled by how this thing drives and how much functionality it is. So yeah, the Venue, strong. Are there any remarks we missed? If so, tell us in the comment section. Label them remarks. Get in on the game. Synopsis. In synopsizing the Hyundai Venue, I'm just going to take this one because it's about you. I'm just going to say that this is the Muzio of subcompact SUVs. It's got some visual flair. It's very, very cheap, but very practical.
I will happily accept that.
Yeah, it's the thing you need, but also the thing you want.
Aww.
Get out of here, Iguana. We're having a moment. If you haven't subscribed to Micah Drives, please do. At 100,000 subs, I'm going to review a windowless white van. And please follow us over on Instagram. Over here, over there, everywhere. Sweetie, did we have a good video?
Yep.
High five!
Okay, so I'm doing
Yay! By the way, how's your cat witch doing?
well good, and I want to
Right about now. High five? You too. Come get your high five.